Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with another 5-minute review where I let you know just the highlights of a game and whether it's worth buying, getting on sale, or if you should give it a pass. So today's review is going to be on Assault Sicily 43, which is on GameFound right now. Make sure you check out the link down below. And this game is based on the assault of Sicily in 1943, where Army, Rangers, and Airborne came in down on the southern part of Italy, and they were fighting the Italians and the Germans as they were trying to gain that foothold into the continent of Europe itself. So Assault Sicily 43 is a hex and counter tactical skirmish game where the counters are going to represent squad level units or individual vehicles. Now, I have played a prototype of this game, which I'm going to have up in the background for you, and I've experienced the components for the prototype, but I've also played the previous production version of this game, so I'm going to comment on the components of the game based off of those experiences, which have been quite positive. So when it comes to the maps that you're going to use in the game, they are the standard hex maps that you've seen in plenty of other types of games, except these have hex borders. And the benefit to that is that allows them to interlock very well, and it prevents them from sliding. You don't have to worry about them moving around on the board. Plus, it allows that extra variety because they can be interlocked in a wide variety of different ways, meaning that you're not going to have as much of a static type map situation as you might have in some other war games. On top of that, there is a fair amount of paper that is going to come with this game, and by paper I mean things like the rule book, which is fairly substantial, the campaign book, which has a large number of scenarios and campaigns that you can play through, plus things like the player aids. Now, the benefit to the player aids is that they contain so much information on them that you're not really going to have to reference the rule book after you've learned the game. Everything that you're going to need to know is pretty much right there on those player aids. One downside to that, though, is that there are a fair amount of player aids, which you will find yourself shuffling through them as you play the game, as you try to find what chart, the combat chart or the train effects chart. So you'll thumb through those occasionally trying to find what you're looking for, but it's not too overwhelming. When it comes to the counters, there are a fair amount of counters, things like your usual admin counters like move or fire counters to put onto your unit counters. And when it comes to the unit counters themselves, you'll actually find that they have a very clean look on the board. And they have that because none of the unit counters have stats on them like you've seen in other games. All of a unit's stats are going to be kept off map on separate unit cards. This is going to actually kind of segue us into the gameplay a little bit because it's really those cards that are going to make a huge difference between this game and other games of its type. So, like I said, the units themselves, their stats are going to be on those cards, which does actually give the ability to have more information out there because they don't have to worry about just having what can fit on a single counter itself. This gives the ability to have units that have a wide variety of special abilities, things like camouflage or even tanks that are considered tall, so the enemy gets a bonus when they're firing against them. So things like that, and of course their ranges and the different dice that they're going to throw at those different ranges are going to be kept track of on those cards. When it comes to gameplay itself, I'm not going to talk about too much of the specifics because it's a fairly standard hex and counter tactical war game. If you've played one, you're kind of understanding the basics that you're going to see here. What really makes Assault Sicily 43 stand out is something that I've talked about a lot in my videos of the game and its predecessor, and that is the formation cards and the custom dice. Both of them give a nice rich experience here. Touching first on those formation cards, these are the cards that you will use to determine what units are going to be involved in a different scenario, whatever it is, your campaign, your scenario, your battle. These cards will tell you what units are going to be involved in the battle, but there's a wide variety of them. Infantry ones, artillery ones, tank ones, and then different units located on that. On top of that, the custom dice are just excellent. So now when you're rolling for your attacks, certain units can have a long shot chance of making that key shot to take out the enemy tank or the enemy leader, whatever the case may be. If you're a gamer who's into hex and counter tactical war games, this is definitely one that you don't want to miss, especially if you're into World War II era. You're just going to have a blast with this. There's just so much on offer. The ability to play the solitaire, the ability to play it heads up, and then just the sheer replay value with the way that the unit formation cards work just give you a tremendous amount of gameplay in this box. So I absolutely can't recommend it enough. But all right, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this 5-minute review. I will catch you in the next one.